Hello, and my walk this afternoon starts in the lovely village of West Bexington. This door is where, if you've ever been with us at Christmas, always on Christmas Eve, we come and sing carols in the barn here, sat on straw bales and with animals in pens around the door. Wonderful place. Nice little village. Here's Ellen, one of the family who organically farm here, chatting to the National Trust. But I'm heading off uphill. See you a bit later in this walk. Leaving the metalled road behind, heading fairly steeply uphill now on this old track, which probably until the time when the internal combustion engine arrived and the new road was put in, this may have been the main route down into West Bexington, which at the time was little more than a farm and very few cottages. See you a bit later up the hill. It's hot work on this hill, but I've been watching out for something a bit special, and I think, I expect to see these somewhere near here this time of year if I'm lucky. There we are. It's early purple orchids. Beautiful, huh? Right, see you again near the top. Most of the way up now. On the right, white blossoms of the wayfaring tree. I think it's a part of the viburnum family. And this sign tells us Hardy's Monument is 5 3/4 miles. But don't worry, we're not going that far. Here we bear right and head a little on upwards. Most of the tough uphill walking is over now. Near the top. The whole of this walk, as long as you're reasonably fit and mobile, takes comfortably under an hour. So it's easily within my hour's government approved exercise. But before we go on, here's a spot to stop, sit down for a moment and take in the view, because there's the sea. Probably see just a little bit of West Bexington village where we started below us, and then moving on round westward towards the Lyme Regis end of Lyme Bay. Where we are here is very close to the main coast road, but of course there's hardly any traffic at the moment. And we carry on eastward. For the last few minutes I've been walking along roughly on the flat, along the edge of pasture land, vaguely parallel to the coast road. In the meadows, lots of cowslips. There's a beautiful clump here. Show you these cowslips. And the ground underfoot really quite rough, because during a famously wet winter the cattle and the sheep have churned it up something rotten, and now of course it's dried almost like concrete. Away to the right there have been beautiful views of the sea all the way along, and here is a restored lime kiln. Lime kilns, crucial part of the agricultural infrastructure in the past around here. Great big pit here where you would have burnt the lime you'd quarried out of the ground nearby. Oh, can you hear my voice echoing? And then rendered it in a form that you can put on the fields or use in mortar. And once again here, it's a great place to pause, maybe have your picnic lunch, and take another look down towards the sea. Lovely spot for a contemplative moment. After about another 5 minutes along, mainly on the flat, heading east, getting to the point, if this walk is a loop, kind of oblong loop, we're around the far corner from where we began. There's a place called Tulk's Hill. I don't know who or what Tulk, T-U-L-K, was, but at this point the path starts rather steeply down. We diverge from the coast road and head downhill towards the sea. Been watching a buzzard soaring above, but he's disappeared now. But what there is here is plenty of gorse coming into bloom. They used to say, when gorse is in season, then kissing is in fashion. And to the delight of lots of country lads and lasses, gorse booms almost all the season, almost all the year round, if you know where to look. Coming down off Tulks Hill, reach this little isolated barn in the middle of nowhere really, and bear right again to follow the footpath down across this field to the farm below. Name of this farm is Labour in Vain Farm. These days it's farmed by the same family who run Tamarisk Farm. We glimpsed Ellen Simon at the beginning of the walk. She and her husband Adam and other members of their family farm all this land organically, and they're also the people whose cattle and sheep sometimes graze in the fields around and just below Othona. So if you've seen those lovely ruby red Devon cattle near us, they're part of the same operation. And they're people with a tremendous knowledge of and love of everything on their farm. Their commitment to biodiversity and their knowledge of wildflowers and animals and so on is astonishing. At the farm, I'm going to be turning right and back along the lane towards where I left the car. Heading westwards now with the sea on our left, but there's a rather grand house here, and I'm going to step a little way down their drive to show you another local inhabitant. There we are. There's the Buddha, looking out towards the sea, sitting quietly contemplating, as you or I might also do. Oh, disturbed a bird. Better head on. Not many houses on this part of the walk, but here's one with some interesting decorations. I'm actually keeping my eyes peeled here because last time I walked this lane just a few days ago, there was a lovely adder sunning himself on the tarmac just around here somewhere. I reckon about 40 centimetres long. He took his time and headed off into the grass when I approached, but unfortunately I didn't have a camera with me, so I couldn't bring you a picture of him. No, can't see him there today either. Ah well. Soon be back at Tamarisk Farm, where they run a little shop, little farm shop. Usually Lila, who's a daughter of Adam and Ellen, I mentioned before, and Rosie Gilchrist, who runs the market garden part of the operation. And going to the shop, getting a little bit of salad and veg and so on for Othona is the other part of my reason for being out here this afternoon. One last look at the sea and a couple of distant horses before we get back to the village. So that's the end of our walk for today. Just returning into West Bexington and come all the way along the lane from Labour in Vain Farm, returning to Tamarisk Farm, where I'm hoping I'll find Lila and Rosie waiting to sell me some of the tastiest fresh salad and the best free-range eggs anywhere nearabouts.
They go and go and go.
Way! Hi there! I've caught you. They open one afternoon a week and one morning a week. It's a precious moment.